Hey Todd, Bruce Batty here. I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day today to listen to my presentation about social media and implementing social media here at Maple Grove Subs. I have some really good ideas about it. I promise I won't take more than 10 minutes of your time. So the first thing I really want to emphasize, Todd, is that I'm not here today to create a campaign or strategy. I'm really here to explore social media as an option for expanding our presence within our existing markets. What I want to do today is explore and maybe help you understand a couple different aspects of social media, basically why you brought me on board here at Maple Street Subs. The bullet points that I'm going to cover today sort of briefly are what social media is and some common social media platforms just to get you up to speed. The difference between social media and traditional media, the integration of traditional media and social media, integrating the different and multiple social media platforms, and ultimately just discuss why we should use social media and why we will use it in tandem with our current traditional media. So I'll go ahead and get started. So what is social media? The first thing I'll point out, Todd, is that there's a distinct and important difference between social media and social networking. Most people consider them to be one and the same. They're really not. Social networking is more Facebooking with your friends, Instagram, etc. Social media was really best described by Dan Nations. He said that social media can best be defined by combining the definitions of the words social and media together. So the social piece consists of the interactions and conversations between people, particularly the sharing of information, to sort of build on that, the conversations that are created within social media platforms, the back and forth, if you will. The media element refers to the actual instrument itself. In the case of social media, the primary instrument, of course, is the internet. You have your applications. If you look around you at any given time, everyone is on their cell phones or sitting there sort of typing away, looking at different apps and different types of social media outlets. When you combine the two, you end up with an active, all-encompassing, web-based level of interactive communication where people utilize the different platforms to share and consume information. They push it back and forth. There's a lot of opportunity there to establish the content and create dialogues and conversations that are going to help us grow. So moving forward, different social media platforms. Now, most people are aware of the different social media platforms. I'm sure you're aware of some of the basics. The wide variety of social media platforms range from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, wiki pages, blogs, and video streaming sites such as YouTube, and honestly more are popping up on a day-to-day basis. The different platforms have different advantages. Facebook, that we're using right now, as a matter of fact, is the leader in social media platforms. 55% of social media marketers are choosing that as their primary platform. The primary advantage of Facebook lies in the fact that it appeals to multiple demographics. And the other thing that's fantastic about Facebook is they're constantly introducing new innovations. Recently, I don't know if you've noticed, they do the live feed updates, the 360-degree photo check-ins, all tools that can work really well and be very effective in social media. Twitter, of course, allows for short, captivating updates. It allows the marketer, when you're using social media, to link with other Twitter feeds directly and create almost a stream or a chain of connections regarding our service or our business. YouTube, of course, allows users to create interesting videos related to a product. One thing that I love about YouTube is you can track the views, you can attract subscribers, you can get a real good idea of who's watching it, how you're impacting your market and your demographic. It's also an effective tool for integrating traditional marketing with social media marketing as well. Some companies, for instance, Ford and Coca-Cola, they'll supplement their television advertisements with continuing stories on YouTube and such. Traditional marketing versus social media marketing. Traditional marketing is what we're currently emphasizing. I know, Todd, you're a little bit old school, and you prefer traditional marketing, and it's great. It definitely has a tremendous amount of value. Traditional marketing is direct. It utilizes TV, radio, and print, usually, billboards, flyers, things like that, of that nature. It's passive by nature. The messages are developed and then sent out to a broad group. They're usually crafted to elicit a specific buying response. The messages are created by paid professionals, and they can often take time to create. So a billboard takes a lot of time and thought to put up. It's very expensive. And once it's up, that's what you're presenting to the public, and there's no real room to change it. Direct or traditional marketing tactics have very high success rates, and we know that already. We're just hoping right now to hopefully build on that by implementing and integrating some social media tactics as well. Traditional media is targeted directly to a broad group, so think your Super Bowl commercials or your car commercials or your fast food marketing. Those are pretty good examples of direct and traditional marketing. The one thing that traditional marketing definitely has over social media is you can get a very clear idea of the return on investment. The data is very trackable. It's very easy to understand where your money's going and how much money you're generating back in return. Social media marketing, on the other hand, it's very personal. It's accessible everywhere through the internet. Hausman described it as the digital equivalent of the word of mouth, which, being in food service and owning a sandwich shop, word of mouth is everything in the food industry and hospitality. It always has been. The conversational nature of social media allows customers to interact with each other and engage regarding our service, our sandwiches, and regarding products and services. It's very active. Customers can comment, they can discuss, they get involved, they can do subscription services, they can link, there's interactive activities, you can link the platforms, you can link to hashtags, video links. The possibilities are really endless. It's cost effective. Content-based material can be created and dispersed without major expense. Some people argue that utilizing social media is free. It's true. It can be true. There can be some expense involved with it. What we're going to attempt to do will initially be free, but what it does take is time. It takes man hours. It takes monitoring. People need to be responsive and interact with the people viewing our social media in order for that conversational piece to really take effect and to work. It's growing in popularity. Stelzner presented the stats regarding social media, and the growth is tremendous. Nearly 97% of all marketing agencies, according to Stelzner, are using some degree of social media, particularly Facebook, to supplement their traditional advertising marketing. The downside to social media marketing is the data is not as easy to track, especially when it comes to the return on investment. It becomes sort of an intangible piece that's somewhat hard to track, but you can get a good idea of the market you're hitting through views, likes, subscriptions, etc. So the integration of traditional media and social media platforms, it's common sense. They're both successful. Their disparate strengths can be blended to create a best of both worlds strategy. Some examples of integration that you've seen are the QR codes, those little barcodes you see attached to print advertising that link you up. YouTube continuation of TV spots like we talked about. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat links and icons attached to various traditional outlets, emails, etc., etc. The possibilities are endless. An example that I wanted to use that's very similar to us, they have the same type of product that we do. It's a good example of social media implementation and integration with traditional media. Jersey Mike's Subs started as a single shop in New Jersey. They utilize traditional marketing primarily through billboards, print, and TV spots. They integrated social media in 2014, primarily using Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They linked their traditional rewards program to Twitter and Facebook feeds. They launched a giving back channel on YouTube, all in addition to television spots that they put out, as well as some billboard and some print, but primarily television spots. After they launched their social media elements to their traditional strategies, their sales went up 28.6% to $678 million, and an additional 22% of locations were added. So they have 1,046 locations nationwide currently. I use this because they're not a direct competitor of ours. They are primarily located on the West Coast and parts of the East Coast in Florida. So just food for thought. There's clear growth there that can be directly related to the social media approach. So why should we integrate social media? Number one, customer awareness. The more people that know about us, the more business we're going to have. Again, common sense. There'll be an increase in business. It's cost effective. We discussed the costs already. The customer interaction. We can increase our customer service through doing that, and we can increase our demographic. We can connect with a younger customer base and groups that aren't really connected to or have limited connection to traditional media outlets. A lot of younger folks, they don't watch TV. They don't listen to radio. Everything is Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Bottom line is all this equals an increase in profits. Some different ideas for platforms. Facebook. Our page already exists, but it needs to be monitored regularly. It needs to be updated frequently. We're posting out about maybe five times a week tops. Plus sides, Facebook has excellent data retrieval tools. We can get a real good idea of who's paying attention to it. It's also a great way to interact with customers. One of our competitors, I won't say their name, let's just say it rhymes with Zimmy Zons. They're known for being highly interactive on their Facebook feed and using it as a customer service tool to solve problems and get their customer service out there. We could definitely learn from something like that and utilize that as well. Twitter, short fun updates on the menu items, specials, and promos. Instagram, post pics of the food and events, hashtag and link to other accounts with similar dynamics and demographics. YouTube, post videos of events and promotions. That's one thing the Jersey Mike's does a great job at. They do charity events and giving back promotions on YouTube that are linked to their television spots. I think we could really go a long way with that. So, in summary, how can we use social media? The real answer is, how can we afford not to use it? It's a wonderful supplemental tool. We can get to work on it right away. It's fairly easy to implement and monitor, and we can build on it and ideally take all of our advertising and ultimately our sales to the next level. So, Todd, I appreciate your time today. I hope you'll consider what we've talked about, and I'm free to answer any questions that you might have.